Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to see you here on the podcast. Today, it is just me, and it's -2 degrees here where I'm at. I don't know where you're at, but -2 degrees. And I've been out working this morning. So, if you don't know who I am, my name's Suzette Denny. This is my podcast, Awakened Souls. And I interview people, and I also do podcasts about different subjects about soul awakening, about shadow work, about astrology, about homestead. We just do a little bit of everything. But this week, I didn't have anybody to come out on the podcast. So I said, well, let's talk about shadow work because this is something that I've experienced this week for myself. So, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how it works and the triggers that was having. 111. I have to show you. I have to show you. 111. One. It's 1111. So anyway, um, I love angel numbers. Angel numbers make me feel so good. It was the first thing that I seen as my soul opened or awakened or whatever you may want to call it. So I started seeing angel numbers. And that's when I knew that something was going on, something different. But before that, I always did know that there was something different. I always didn't exactly know, but I was like, something's not right here. This is not my life. This is not the life I'm supposed to be living. Yeah. So, have you ever felt that way? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt like this is not your life? This is not, you know, how you're supposed to be living? So, um, once again, I want to talk about shadow work, how it can help you, how it can change your life, how it has changed my life over, I think it's since 2014. So, count the years. It has been so many years that I started studying this and actually working on myself because shadow work is taking your shadows, your shadow self, and then journaling and writing them down and analyze them and picking, why do I do this? Looking at the patterns that you keep repeating basically is what it is. So let me jump into it. About a month or two ago, I came home from Florida. I came home and I lived with my daughter, and we were having some issues. So I decided to come and stay with my mom. So at my mom's house, my son was here, my brother, and different things that were going on. And now my grandmother doesn't live here, but she's sick, and we're having to deal with that also. So at this point of my life, about 2 weeks ago, it's like all these people were asking me, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do that? And it was all in like an hour or two. And this was going on for days. And so I literally lay down in the bed because you ask and it is given. The Bible says, ask and it is given. And I'm not talking about material stuff, I'm talking about the answer. I said, Lord, why do I keep attracting all these people that ask me to do stuff all the time? Now, here's the thing, I knew it was me because I've done the shadow work over the years and years and years. So I knew that I was attracting it. I know some people don't believe this, but this is what I believe. And here's the thing, take this video as, if it feels right in your body, like, oh my God, what she's saying is yes. Or if no, I don't believe that's true, then that is the truth for you. So this might not be for you. But anyway, I now I messed up what I was saying. But anyway, I was just I got to get back to where I was talking now. Well, anyway, I was attracting all these people that were asking me to do these things. And I mean, they weren't hard or anything, but it was just like overwhelming. And plus I'm working, trying to take care of myself and a dog, and I had moved, and I was just going through so much stuff, you guys. And I just felt very overwhelmed. So at this point, I was like, Lord, just tell me. And I went to bed about 6 o'clock at night. And I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning with, this is played out before in your life. And I'm like, yes, it has. And I noticed this had played out in my childhood. So when I was a child, I had to do chores and I had to do different things. And I always did my things. Like I was the good girl. I was always doing, whatever you told me to do, mom, I was doing it. I didn't want to get in trouble. Okay. So then when I would do my stuff, but other people wouldn't do their stuff, brothers, sisters, then I still had to stay home. I still got punished and all the other things. So I end up doing those people, my brothers and sisters things also, their chores, their whatever, put the laundry up, do the dishes, whatever it may be. So then I was like, holy boom. I mean, I was boom. I've been doing this for years. So I actually talked to my inner child, because if you haven't talked to your inner child or gave your inner child what it needs, this inner child is running your life right now. I don't care if you're 55, 75, 95. You have to say, and this is exactly what I said. I said, you are 55 years old, which I will be 55 this year. And I was like, why do I keep playing this pattern out? But look how good it was. Oh my God, I could see it. I was aware. It was like an awakening. It was like aha moment. And I was like, oh my God. And I was doing it to myself. Now, here's the thing, unconscious mind. It was a pattern that I had in my unconscious. So I wasn't um, conscious of doing it. I was just like doing things for everybody. That's what my life was. I was doing things for everybody and I was feeling so overwhelmed. But then I was like, and here's another thing. I said, I just got to leave. I just got to go back to Florida. Boom. Another aha moment. I'm leaving because I'm tired of doing everybody's stuff. and and here's the thing. Everybody could do their own thing, but I would just do it, or just assume me. I would assume that I was doing it because I was playing out that little child that just does everything and makes sure everything's right for everyone. So I wasn't going to get in trouble. Literally, I was like, what am I doing? This is nuts. It sounds crazy. It's the truth. Now, here's the amazing thing that came after it. I put it on Facebook and people were like, just say no. And which was, you just don't say no. Your unconscious mind just is like, unconscious mind. No, no, that doesn't work. So you have to dig deeper. That's the journaling. So you have to ask yourself, where was whatever I'm doing playing out in my life right now, where has this came up for me before? Well, this last time I was here, it came up for me right before I went to Florida this last time, to Pensacola, 6 or 7 months ago. I was driving people around. I was taking so much responsibility, plus doing my own responsibility, then had a business and had this other business. I was like, I've got to leave. So I literally sat in my store and said, do you want to do this for the rest of your life? And I said, no. And here's another aspect. I just found out I'm not only playing out childhood trauma um, in my adulthood, but I am, instead of healing it, which I have, um, I am running to get peace. If I'm that far away, they can't ask me to do anything because I'm that far away. This is just aha moments. Um, so what happened is I really didn't tell anybody anything. I was just like, okay, we're going to see if this plays out. The next day, because I'm holding stuff from myself. So what happens when you do the shadow work is you have the aha moments and you're like, you tell yourself, you tell your inner child, you are allowed to have whatever you want. You don't have to try to make everybody happy because it never works anyway. You have to make yourself happy and then everybody else can figure it out for themselves. And I'm not talking about if somebody needs help and like they're sick, and yeah, I'm talking about in general people doing stuff. I was just doing other people's stuff to be doing it. because I unconsciously thought if I didn't do it, I was going to get in some kind of trouble. So I didn't even tell anybody. I did tell my mom, like, I think I'm not going to be doing as much, but it wasn't even like that. It was just, I'm not going to do much today. And that day, I opened up myself. My unconscious started allowing myself to have things like I got a new phone. I got a people were giving me money at work, like cash money. I usually get tips, but they're on a card. I was just people were handing me cash. People were I got a free Starbucks. I mean, they were it was just the universe. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, showing me that I had cleared this pattern. Now, another thing I want to tell you is just because you clear a pattern doesn't mean it's all gone, and sometimes it's in layers and layers and layers and layers. So you do have to go back and look at it if it comes up again. Because I find myself saying, oh, asking people, I'm asking people, do you want me to do anything? Do you want me to do anything? Because unconsciously, I thought I was going to get in trouble for some reason. But when I was a child, that's what happened. So I was still playing this out. Just like when I was in, I got whipped when I was little. And then when I got into a marriage, that's what happened, was battered. And then I got into a job and then I was battered. I got battered in a job. And I remember that last day that I got hit, I said, I will never get hit again. And something inside of me just switched. So, what happens is these old paradigms that we believe in, like, oh my God, I don't deserve, I mean, something inside me said I didn't deserve. I didn't feel good about myself. I wasn't deserving. So just let people hit me. I didn't deserve to have whatever I want or whatever was going on last week, and not allowing what was going on. I wasn't allowing myself to have stuff because I remember saying, well, I want to get this and I want to get this. And it wasn't coming. Manifestation was not coming because I was giving, 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 and I was not receiving. Now, when I did put the post up, I want to say a couple things. Like one lady or lots of people said, say no. It's not as easy as that. But you're right. You have to say no. Um, you have to say no to all the things that you're doing. And another person said you have to stop asking people for things like for them to. I never asked one person. That's was the thing. I was like, hello, nobody is even. I'm not even asking anybody. They're just asking me. But here is what I want you to hear. Life is a mirror for your unconscious mind. So my life was mirroring what I did not want, what needed to be healed. So I would awakened and to be aware of that. And it put pressure on me. I felt it. So I could change it. I could change it. So the first thing is take responsibility. When I laid down in my bed and I said, Lord, higher self, please tell me why I keep attracting this. Asking it is given. And for me, I get it pretty quick because I've been used to this and you have to listen to this. I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, this has happened to me when I was a kid. This happened to me the last time I was here. So you have to look for the patterns. You have to be able to be aware and quiet and ask and believe that you will receive. Ask and believe you will receive. I know so many people are like, ask and believe you will receive a car. Yes, you can do that. A house. Yes. A man. Yes. But also the inner knowing that you need to clear. Because if you don't clear the patterns of the man or the house or the doing things, being the giver, but not a receiver, you will not be able to receive. You will not be able to keep the man. You will not be able to keep the house. You will not be able to keep shit. I have done this stuff. I have practiced this stuff and I know it for 100%. That's why I'm on here doing these videos. I am telling my experience to you so maybe you can do it, or you can message me and I can help you do it. Um, to look at aspects of your life that you do not like because you can change them. Change your thinking, change your mind. I mean, now people that I was asking or they were asking me to do stuff are not asking me anymore. They're doing it themselves. And I'm like, because the universe, God, the outside of you, the mirror is mirroring what I've released. So at first it was like do, give all your time, give everything, and you're overwhelmed and going to bed at 6 o'clock, to where, well, I've got time. I have time. I have plenty of time. I have plenty of money. I have plenty of things. And that's what it's came to, because now, and listen, I have helped. I've said, can I go to the grocery store for you? I've been out to see my grandma. I've, helped my children, but they haven't asked me. It's been more like me saying, let me help you, or, if you need anything, I'm going. It was like when I was out before, I'd be working and I'd be on the phone. Can you do this? And can you go here? And then another person would call me. And then, I mean, but here it is. The universe has to show you the mirror. So the mirror was, you are giving, Suzette, but you're not receiving. So now I'm at an even balance. Like, I'm giving and I'm receiving. And I've been receiving like so much stuff, like Christmas gifts that I've never received at Christmas is coming to me. People are just giving me money. People are giving me free stuff. I'm allowing myself to have my own money to get me what I wanted in the first place. So it's all opened up like that. Um, and that's just one aspect of one thing that I let go of. There is so many. You might have, you keep attracting the same boyfriend and you need to know why. And it's you. You keep attracting the same stupid job that you hate. It's you. And I know everybody doesn't want to hear like it's you, but I'm telling you, it was me. It was me. And if I'm vulnerable enough to get on here and say it was me and I was the one that's wrong, um, and you're not, I don't want to make you sound like you're wrong. And because it's not wrong. Life is a mirror. Life is your mirror. Hello. Whatever's happening outside of you right here is just telling you what you need to heal, or maybe it's the joy you're having. Look how joyful your life is. Look how not joyful your life is. It's up to you to change that. Now, is it hard? Yes. And do you know? No. But you ask and you believe and you receive, and you ask to believe, you ask to receive. There is so much more that I have to go through and to get, to where I need to go. But I had to have a balance. So there's a balance now between giving and receiving. So now I'm allowed to give and now I'm allowed to receive. And I might start saying next week, like all these people asking me, and then I'll feel the overwhelm again. But this time I'll know. I won't have to say, Lord, can you help me? Now I'll just say, oh, you guys got to back up. I'm doing this pattern again. My little girl still thinks she has to do all this stuff because I've been doing it for 54 years. So don't think that, oh, just one day you're going to do the shadow work and it's going to be all gone. You're going to be the best part of yourself. No, but you're going to recognize it quicker and you are becoming the best part of yourself in that aspect of your life. And it just goes and you come better at all things. I was just a giver, and I wasn't a giver. I've been a giver. Like, I love giving to people. I love giving to homeless. I love giving that. But I was just giving my time away because I got triggered staying here at my mom's house. And it doesn't matter. You could be 90 years old. Like when I took care of the lady, she would eat all her food. 96 years old. She would eat every bit of her food because she said, my mom told me to. 96. So this is one of the great things about it is you can clear it up at any age. It doesn't matter. 96, you can clear it up if you decide. It's a decision. And you look at your life and say, oh, yeah, I'm playing this pattern out as I was a child. That's why they say heal the inner child, because the inner child's like, okay, let's go let's do this, let's do that. And if you are not paying attention to it, it is running your life. You have got to become an adult. You are the adult in your life and say, honey, and here's the thing, you don't say, oh, shut up, you can't do. And that's what so many people do. Shut up and just say no. No, it doesn't work. Your inner child wants to know that it's loved, that it's cared for. And I was like, oh, honey, you do not have to do this stuff anymore. You are safe. I've got your back. Like we have grown so much. Haven't Don't you see this? Like you're a badass. I mean, the self-talk that you have to say to yourself to be like, yeah, I got this. You have to. And you have to do that in all of everything. I've seen That's a wonderful thing to talk about right now is self-talk. So I talked to myself at this point and was like, it's fine. You don't have to do it. You're allowed to receive. You're allowed to have anything you want. I mean, you're working all the time for your own money. Um, I was giving my money away. Oh my gosh. I wasn't giving my money away, but somebody would come and ask me for money. And instead of paying my own bills, I would give them so they would pay their bills. And that was taking away from me. See, I was giving, but I wasn't receiving. So here they say, fill up your own cup. Fill up your own cup first, pay your bills first. And then if you have some left over, you can give. But I was just giving my bill money away for helping people to pay their bills. And then, you know, not being able to pay my bills. And I was like, what are you doing? And I think all this had to come down. At first, it happened with one loved one, and then another loved one, and then this, and they're all, my close family, but they're my mirrors. They're the only mirrors I have. If you have a husband, he's probably your mirror, and if he's triggering you in any way, lean back, and say, "Oh my God, what? Why does he trigger me?" I've been even triggered ever since then. I've been triggered about a lot of things, like what I think people should do. Now, should I be triggered about what I think people should do? No, because I can't control anybody else. I control me. But that's always lived inside of me for years and years and years. Well, I think you should do that. And I think you should do that. I've come to a realization. I'm living for me, especially now that I'm getting older. And you live for you, and whatever you want to do is fine. And that's been really hard for me to let go of over the spiritual years that I've had, because I've always thought I can change my mind and I've changed my life. And so many people I have actually, I don't think I've ever said this. I have changed so many people's lives. Like people has messaged me. I can even put a bunch of things up where people has um, wrote things out. People has called me and said, you have changed my life. People's like, just by me changing my life. I did not, I mean, I've had people from Florida that messaged me that I don't even know and said the reason I moved to Florida is because you. And I have never even met this person. It's like, me? Yeah. Um, just by doing the shadow work. Because, like I said, when I did the shadow work to release myself from the inner child thinking that she still had to do all the things, and I know you guys have the inner child that thinks she has to do all the things. There's millions of you guys out there, and you stop doing them. And then the mirror is receive, 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 receive. And it was like last week, I was like having Christmas. It was like I was getting all kinds of things because I let that aspect of my life go. Now, none of the people that I hear at my house that I have to take care of full time, like, oh my God, they're in, wheelchairs and hospital beds and no, everybody can do their own thing. And I can do my own thing. I do still do things for people because it's the kindness of my heart. I want to, but by the law of attraction, we attract what we are imbibing. Inside me was saying, I want to give everything away because I don't feel good enough and I feel like I'm going to get hurt as a child, like beat. And that's aspect of me, and my ears are ringing, was still living inside of me until I did the work. And then that whole night, I woke up at 1 o'clock. I wrote down, why did I do this? And then my mom did this and my dad did this. And I looked at different aspects of my life. And you can go into that. You have to really get down and deep and look at it. Um, you have to really look at it. And then once you realize, oh my gosh, I don't have to do this anymore, just on that aspect. Just like a husband, I don't have to be married to the same man for 50 years because of a 50-year paper. I mean, I know a lot of people believe that, and that's great if you can. But if you're in a marriage that when you're getting beat and there's alcohol and abuse and all that, that's not a marriage, you guys. That is not, well, that's not a marriage for me. And I know say stay together for better or worse or sickness or death. No, I'm not doing that. I want to live in a marriage of happiness and love and caring and compassion. And if I can't, then it's done. Um, if they put that into the marriage thing now, I would love that. Next time I get married, I'll be like compassion, love, caring, respect, and then we'll do it. But if I have to live with him till I die, no matter what, even if he's trying to beat me and all that stuff, no, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. And people believe this. It's not true, you guys. And all it is your belief that you have to let go of. I let go of the belief that I had to take care of everyone or I was going to get hurt. Gone. Boom. Now I'm receiving like, and I've let go of plenty of beliefs. I have let go of all kinds. I've let go of the marriage belief because I was married for 26 years in an abusive relationship. And I'm going to say I was in abusive relationship. I was also the abuser because at the time I wasn't awakened. I did not know. I didn't like physically abuse, but I mentally abused and I, you know, called names and all the things. And I had to let go of that. Not only let go of the bad relationship, I had to look at this why I treated people like shit, why I talked to them like dogs. I had to do the shadow work on that, and I would never in a million years do that to somebody today. Never. I was terrible. I was like, I am a narcissist. You sometimes, and here's, I believe this, every person out here is some kind of a narcissist. Like, I don't mean there is some full blown narcissist that never can go, back. And they call us codependents. I guess that's what I would be called. Um, but like narcissist tendencies, like being mean, treating people like shit, men haters, and stuff like that. Us women today, we don't hate men. We just want nice, kind, loving men. But here's the thing, I understand that there's not a lot out there, and I'm not trying to be mean, but they weren't raised like that. And that's how we raised them. When my mom raised, it was, mean and shut up and beat. And then when I raised my kids, I was like, have whatever you want. Let's go you can have everything. I wouldn't listen to my husband. Nope. Don't tell dad. You can do whatever you want. And that's how I did. So my mom, like, too strict. I was too overly giving. And hello, overly giving. Um, and we have to find a balance. We have to find a balance, and we have to be able to talk to our children and see. One of the good things I've had a relationship with my children is I have listened to every word they say. Like, I always tried to figure out the problems. Like, for an example, my daughter never wanted to go to school. Smartest person I know to this day. She just didn't want to go to school. And I found out that at first I thought there was something wrong with her, like she's having learning disabilities. No, she's like over the marks. She was in junior high, she was doing college. Like when she take tests, it was college grades or whatever. But for me, I was like, oh my God, something's wrong with her. Something's wrong. So I go to the school to get help. She don't need help. She's like, she can teach the teachers. And I'm like, holy crap. I did not know that. We don't know everything, you know, but I took her out of school and I said, we're going to take you out of school. She took the GED, passed it. They gave her a scholarship for a GD, which I didn't even know they had scholarships for. But because she, you know, tested really high. So she was bored. But the whole time I thought, oh no, you have to go to school. You have to do this. You have to do that. But no, finally I said, let's talk about this. What is going on? Why we have to listen to them. I I can do that with flying colors. I don't need to learn about this. It's boring. I already know it. Especially these days. Kids are born knowing stuff like with laptops and stuff that we've never even dreamed of. And we have to open up our minds. One of a lady came into my store and she said, and I'm just talking about how we can change different beliefs. My son will not read. He doesn't want to read in school. And I said, well, can he read? Like he can, yeah, he can read. He just won't read any of the books. And I said, well, then get him a book that he likes to read. I never thought about that. Does he like skateboards? Does he like hunting? Does he like, hello? Then get what they like to read. But here's our old paradigms. They are going to do what I say. They're going to eat what I say. They're going to be who I say. And none of it's happening, you guys. When they grow up, they're rebellious. Like, I'm not being what my mom said. I'm not doing what my mom said. I'm not, none of that. But they do what you do. So I've seen so many people out here going like, well, my kid's not going to be an alcoholic and cuss and be a drug addict. Yeah. And they was, and it's because I've seen it in their family. The people were that. I don't mean to be mean. That's just what it was. I have become this spiritual person. Both of my children have become spiritual because kids do what moms do, sometimes what dads do. I'm not meaning like every kid's, going to be a drug addict. I don't mean that, but majority of them follow the trend of their parents or their family. Like a majority of people, if you grow up poor, you're going to be poor. If you grow up be rich, you're going to be rich. If you grow up to be around drugs or like that, it's there. It's there. If you grow up around church, it's likely to be there. And I'm not saying you can't rebel, and you do, and most people do. But if you look, just look, it's the perfect example. If you just look at a person's family from outside and see all the siblings, the parents, just see how familiar everything looks. Like what, and there might be one person like the black sheep that is not like that. And they're here to shine their light and break those patterns. I'm here to break this pattern of giving and giving and giving and not being able to receive. I am ready to receive whatever the hell I want. I'm going to be 55 years old this year. If I live to 90, I only have 40 more years, 35, whatever. I want to enjoy it. Um, um, on the receiving end, because I have been giving so much, I'm ready to receive. So I am so glad that I figured this out, and I would love to help anybody that needs help. I can. You can call me, you can talk to me for 10 or 15 minutes, and I will be able to look and see what patterns that you have that you want to get rid of. And all you have to do is, if you want to do it to yourself, just take a journal and say, I don't like the way John treats me. I hate this job. Why do I keep going back to it? Um, why do I keep getting mad every time somebody asks me what to do? Hello, this is what I just did. So look at back in your childhood. Where does it trigger you? Why is it triggering you? It's called shadow work, looking at your shadows. Because last week, this was a shadow. and I did not know it. But this week, there's light on it and it is gone. Now, like I just said earlier, aspects of it can come back up, but now you're so aware of it. I'm so aware of it, and you will be so aware of it that it'll be like, oh, I already seen that movie. Yeah. Oh, I already seen that. So now you'll know. You'll feel it. You'll be like, oh my God, here I go again. I'm doing the same thing. And then that's how you change it. And once you change this stuff, you guys, your family changes like right in front of your eyes. It's like a magic show. It's like you are magic. If you want to feel magic, do shadow work because you will literally see your reality change in front of your eyes and you'll be like, what did, like, you'll feel like you're magic because that's how I felt last week. And I've done this millions of times to different patterns, but this one was a big one for me. And I was like, wow. And now that I look back, and it's so fun to look back because I could see it happen in Florida. Ooh, that's when it started in Florida. Or it started years ago, but when I started questioning it, like, okay, I'm doing without because of this. And then I came back and somebody else triggered me. Oh, I'm doing without because of this. Oh, and then I come here. I'm doing without because of all this. And finally, boom, I said, I want to know. Ask and it is given. Lord, please tell me. Woke up in the middle of the night, download, and here it was. And it was all me. It was all me. I was attracting it. We are attracting it. If you're attracting the bad boyfriend, if you're attracting the bad job, if you have no money, it's you. It's you. I know you don't believe me. Some of you will not believe me. It is true. I have family members like, you're crazy. I don't believe you. Whatever. And I believe me 150%, 250, 350, 450. I believe me because it works and when you do it and you see the world change, it's like, oh my God, how do you not believe it? How do you not believe it? Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna get off here, you guys. I just wanted to tell you that it was so cool. Hold on, I got a paper. Let's see if I have anything else I want to tell you. Um, yeah, the people pleasing. I was doing the people pleasing too, and that goes along with just making sure everything's okay, like I did as a child, so I wouldn't get yelled at, so I wouldn't get hurt, so I was allowed to go out and do the things that I wanted to do. And we still play those patterns today, you guys. We all do. We play those patterns as a child. We played them in our marriages, in our jobs, in any relationship we're in. You know, let me please you so you will love me. And that doesn't work. I remember as a child, I would do everything I could. And I was like, I did everything right. And I'm like, I know I'm going out tonight. Everything's done. And, I did everybody's chores. And there was times that no, you're not going. You're getting, spanked or whatever. For what reason? I was like, I don't even know. But now that I'm old enough, I know and I can change it. Nobody's going to hurt me. I'm my own boss. I'm my own grown up. I'm the adult of my inner self. And it is so important. You can look up on YouTube inner child work, inner child meditation. It is so good to close your eyes and feel your inner child and know what they need and what they need to let go of. Now, if I was a people pleaser all the time and that's all I ever did, I would never be able to receive. And I wasn't. I wasn't receiving. I didn't even receive Christmas because of this. And God was like, girl, until you wake up, you will not receive a thing. And now last week I was like, I'm going Christmas shopping because people were giving money. People were giving me gifts. It was like God was waiting for me to realize this because when you ask for bigger and better things in your life, there's some aspects of yourself you have to let go so you can receive it. You're not going to be like, Lord, I don't want to be an alcoholic anymore, but you're going to drink. Lord, save me from, you know, poverty and you want all this money, but you're still hanging out with, I'm not saying hanging out with poor people, but, living the mentality of poor. You're going to be like going out here and helping people and having things for yourself. You have to get in a vibrational match of letting things come to you. I believe that yes, a little bit you have to work for it, but right there, I didn't have to work for it. The only work I did was the inner work. I didn't go out and do anything other than tell myself, you are okay. You do not have to do this anymore. And I love you. And it just removed. And then things started happening outside of me, and I did not do a job for it. The only job I did was the inner work. It will change your life. I promise you. All right. If you want any information on how to do this more or deeper or for yourself, or um, I can help you, then message me. Thank you guys for watching my podcast. Um, I'm hoping to have a guest on next week. January is slow for people. People are moving slow this year. 2024, we are just moving slow. We're just going with the flow. And that's what we're going to do. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my podcast. This is the best work you could ever do for you and your family is the shadow work. All right, you guys, I love you. Bye.